All right, welcome to TKB Bench Shots, episode number 15. This episode, we are going to do some stories because it's been a while. Adi's here. Adi, say hi.
Hi guys. The history behind this episode is long time ago we did some polls asking if you guys want editorial pieces for the shorts or stories, and it's perfectly 50-50. So to appease the other 50%, we have brought some classic Aesop's fables to you, and yeah, let's see how this goes. So I think the first story is going to be about this fox, right? So once upon a time there was a fox, and as it was going through a meadow, it saw a beautiful tree with a luscious, juicy vine going around it, and on this vine was a bunch of grapes at the tippy top of the vine of the tippy top of the tree, and the fox was enamored by this bunch of grapes that it goes near, and it realizes that it just needs to jump to reach it, and it would have a beautiful meal of grapes straight from the vine if it just reaches it. So it just gathers its strength and jumps at the grapes and just misses by, how do I say this, ஒரு நூல்ல, by a thread. And second time it jumps again with all its might, all its force, and misses again. The third time it jumps and it can smell the grapes, but it just can't reach. So now that the fox can't reach, it tells itself, I'm putting in more effort than those grapes are worth. I'm putting in more effort I'm putting in too much effort for those useless sour grapes anyway. And he just walks off scornfully. That is with like distaste. Basically walks out with distaste, convincing himself that he doesn't need those grapes anyway, just because he couldn't get them. So what do you think about this story, Rakuri? So I've told you the moral of the story. What do you think is the moral of the story?
I don't know. See, I still believe. I get where the fox is coming from, but I'm someone who believes that you need to keep trying and not just give up the third time or something. Because I think a lot of these fables, right, they have a sort of moral of the story in the sense of larger picture thing. So I think this is an excellent example of do not give up, because he was so close and he was getting closer each jump, right? So maybe if he tried a couple more times, he would have actually got it. And at the same time, the best part about the story, it doesn't actually say the moral. Moral have to interpret. So sometimes it's smarter to quit. Like there's only a small difference between bravery and being foolish, right? And him just jumping and being confident he'll get it might waste some energy when he's in the forest. And clearly a fox looking for berries is not a very good state of its diet, right? It's a carnivore. So clearly it's wasting its energy in that front, and so it's also a smart decision like that. So I think that's the beauty of the story, right? It doesn't tell you what is right or wrong. You can apply the story at any time. And let's say you have a friend who's chasing this girl, and you'll be like, Machan, she's not coming, don't keep trying. You're like the fox jumping on a grape. But let's say you have a friend who failed an exam twice, or who's this close to a perfect score, and all he wants is that perfect score. You're like, Machan, try again. You got close and you're getting closer each time. Just try, get a perfect score next time. The story is applicable for both cases. Yeah, that's my thoughts.
See, I think for me what this story is about is just because you don't get something, you shouldn't like change your perspective on that thing just because you didn't get it. Like, let's say I really want, let's say, I don't know, some fruit juice, and somehow I just don't get it. Instead of trying again, I just convince myself that I didn't need it in the first place. I think that's what this fox does. Now that the fox was definitely very interested in those grapes, but now as soon as the fox realizes that it can't get those grapes, it's just like, why do I need those sour grapes anyway?
Yeah. This is like a nice meme. It's like a Twitter thing that became a meme. It's like, I'm not in. If I want to try something new and I'm not good at it, I don't want to try it. Something like that. You may, like a lot of people during quarantine wanted to improve their physical health, do handstands, become stronger and all. 1 week into this, they think it's too hard, and they're like, no, my life is fine already. It's not like I'm sick right now. Why should I do it? It's a very nice interpretation as well.
And I think it's an interpretation of like a lot of people, like not interpretation. I think it's an interesting model for today, where a lot of people, because of, like social pressure and everything, a lot of people just turn the other way.
Correct, and like in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, they just like flip. They're like, I don't need to go to these parties. I don't need all this. I can like, I can just be myself. I can just do this by myself. But how much of this is actually for them, like doing it by themselves, and how much of it is like doing it because something is holding them back from going the other
For
way?
me, the better example is actually the other way. All these people that actually, they have their reasons for not going to these parties. They think it's a waste of time, and they have their good reasoning. They have other things, and they want to focus their energy elsewhere. As soon as a couple of their friends start doing it, next thing you know, they've lost a week of what they wanted to do, and they're just completely distracted. So
Yeah, works both ways.
exactly, and I think that's the best part about these stories, right? It's actually applicable pretty much to any scenario. It's just about how we interpret it. So some of these fables, because of their simplicity and not their specifics, it's not very obvious, or rather, the meaning is only obvious depending on the context. You know what I mean? The context dictates the meaning and not the story itself. That's the best part about these simple fables.
Yeah, I agree.
Alright, so that was a story after a long time from us. Do let us know what you think of the stories in the comment section on YouTube. We're going to try animating this. Hopefully the animation's up. Now I've said it in the episode, so we have to animate it. Until next time, thank you so much for listening. Nandri.
Vanakkam.
All